If you're a North American retiree considering life abroad, the question that decides everything is simple. What will you actually pay per month once the vacation glow fades and real life begins? Because the best destination in the world stops being fun the moment rent jumps, your healthcare plan feels shaky. Or you're moving so often you're paying tourist prices forever. In the next few minutes, you'll get a realistic way to estimate your monthly cost of living abroad in 2026 in US dollars with an easy Canadian dollar conversion approach. We'll focus on the categories that move the needle. Then I'll give you several monthly budget examples so you can sanity check your plan before you commit. Welcome to Travel Choir. Freedom and adventure. After 55. If you like practical, calm guidance for retirees who want to travel more and worry less, like the video, subscribe, and tap the bell. Across almost every country, 3 levers decide your monthly number: housing, healthcare, and pace. Housing is usually your biggest fixed cost and the widest range because it changes with neighborhood, season, lease length, and whether you're renting furnished and short-term. Healthcare is the category that protects your lifestyle. Americans often assume everything will be cheaper abroad, and sometimes it is, but the real question is how you protect yourself from the one big event that could blow up your finances. Canadians often assume provincial coverage will follow them, and then learn the rules depend on how long they're away. Either way, the goal is a plan that makes your life abroad feel calm, not risky. Pace is the silent budget multiplier. Moving every 2 weeks costs more than living in one base for 3 months, even in the same city. Slow down and your rent drops, your transport drops, and you stop paying newcomer prices. So think of your monthly cost as your base living cost, plus your lifestyle choices, plus your travel pace. Let's talk rent, because rent is the whole game. A useful planning method is to grab a few reference points, then adjust for your standards and your season. For example, Numbio's Mexico City comparisons commonly show a 1-bedroom in the city center around 20,000 pesos per month, and in the Toronto comparison that works out around 1,610 Canadian dollars. Outside the center, it's closer to 12,700 pesos, around 1,008 Canadian dollars. That spread is just neighborhood and distance. In Spain, a retiree favorite like Valencia often shows a 1-bedroom in the city center around 1,150 euros, and outside the center in the high 800s. In Thailand, Chiang Mai often shows a 1-bedroom in the city center around 15,000 baht, and outside the center closer to 8,700 baht. In Panama City, a 1-bedroom in the city center often shows around $1,289. Those aren't promises, they're anchors. Your real number depends on what you're optimizing. Walk to everything costs more. Beachfront costs more. Short-term furnished costs more. And arriving during high season can make a whole country look expensive until you compare the exact same rental in the shoulder season. For most retirees, the smartest approach is to treat the first 3 months as a landing phase. You rent before you commit, you learn neighborhoods, and you expect your costs to settle after you stop living like a brand new visitor. After housing, daily life is usually manageable, but it's where retirees leak money without noticing. Groceries are affordable in many places when you buy local. The moment you rebuild your North American pantry with imported products, your cost jumps. A simple rule is to pick a few comfort items you're willing to pay extra for, then let everything else go local. Eating out is similar. Many retirees love the idea of, "we'll just eat out more." And that can be true, but it becomes a major line item fast. A balanced rhythm is to keep breakfast simple at home, have an easy lunch routine, and treat dinners out as your social life, not your default kitchen. Utilities can be either surprisingly low or shockingly high, depending on climate and air conditioning. If you want comfort, plan for it. And if reliable internet matters for family calls, build it into the same line item as utilities so it never surprises you. Healthcare is where a realistic plan becomes a confident plan. The mindset that helps most is to separate routine care from big event protection. Routine care is doctor visits, labs, prescriptions, dental and vision. Big event protection is the thing you do not want to self-fund. An accident, a hospital stay, or an evacuation problem that turns into a logistics nightmare. Also remember that healthcare spending isn't evenly monthly. Some months are quiet. Then one month you need new glasses, a specialist visit, and dental work. Instead of guessing, add a monthly healthcare sinking fund to your budget so those spikes don't hurt. If you want help turning all of this into a clean monthly number, I've put a free cost of living planner in the links in the description, along with retiree-friendly travel tools for medical coverage, staying connected, and smoother airport-to-rental logistics. Transportation is where retire abroad monthly budget plans get messy, because people ignore pace. If you're living in one base, transport can be refreshingly cheap in walkable cities with good public transit. If you need ride shares every day, or you keep a car, you'll pay more than you expect once you include insurance, parking, and the occasional repair stress. If you're doing slow travel, every move adds hidden costs. Higher nightly rates, new deposits, taxis on arrival, and more meals out while you reset. If affordability is a goal, plan fewer moves. If variety is the goal, plan a bigger monthly budget. Now let's put real numbers on the table. These examples assume you're renting, not buying, and living a comfortable retiree lifestyle, not extreme frugality and not luxury. A settled base month in Mexico, in a place like Merida, or a neighborhood that isn't the most touristy, often lands around $2,200 to $3,200 per month for a couple before major flights. Housing choice drives the range. A walkable Europe month in Spain, in a city like Valencia, often lands around $2,800 to $4,200 per month for a couple before major flights. Long-term rent and season matter more than almost anything else. A Southeast Asia comfort month in Thailand, with Chiang Mai as the reference, often lands around $2,200 to $3,600 per month for a couple. What makes it work is that convenience can still be affordable as long as you don't move constantly. A Central America reality check month is often higher than people expect. Costa Rica can easily land around $3,200 to $5,000 per month for a couple depending on housing and lifestyle, while Panama can be flexible but still has city center rent that looks very North American in price. For Canadians, convert these USD ranges using today's rate in your banking app, then add a cushion. Exchange rates move, and retirees sleep better with a buffer. Here's the fastest way to build a number you can trust. First, define your comfort standards in plain language. Do you need air conditioning, an elevator, and quiet? Do you want a second bedroom for family visits? Do you eat out a lot, or mostly at home? Second, price housing first, because housing is the anchor. Look at long-term rents in 2 or 3 neighborhoods you'd actually live in, then choose a middle number and add utilities and internet. Third, add lifestyle, groceries, eating out, local transport, and a realistic fun budget for museums, coffee dates, and day trips. Fourth, add healthcare planning, a monthly sinking fund for routine care, and a strategy for big events that keeps you protected. Finally, add a buffer. 10% is a simple starting point. Then test your plan with a 30-day trial. Spend like you live there, track everything, and adjust. 1 month of your own data beats a year of internet guesses. If you want the planner and the retiree-tested tools we use to reduce surprises, check the links in the description. Using them is a simple way to support Travel Choir at no extra cost to you. So what will you pay per month abroad in 2026? For most US and Canadian retirees, the honest answer is that a comfortable life abroad is possible in many places, but your number depends far more on housing, healthcare planning, and pace than on a country's reputation. If you want a quick reality check, comment with your top 2 destinations and whether you're planning solo or as a couple, and I'll help you think through the biggest budget drivers. And if this helped, like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next Travel Choir guide.